Hey, what's up you guys? We have the Cryomancer here with his updated zombie profile.
Hello there. I just wanted to come back at you with my new zombie deck. Mostly just kind of little changes here and then. I took out 4 and added in 4 and just moved some stuff around. But been playtesting it and I didn't like the way the deck was drawing before. It's kind of slow certain times. But I guess I'll get into it and I'll show you what I changed. So to start off with, we're going to keep 3 Zombie Master because it's pitch 1 to summon 1, so that's up your graveyard, just a good card to play. 3 Blue-Blooded Oni, because that gets your overlay plays going. 2 Mezuki, because you still got 2. First change, I took out one of the Bone Crushers. You really only need 1. If it gets into your graveyard, you can use it as often as you need it, and if you've got 1 in the grave, it kind of sucks to draw into the second one, so just got 1 of those now. Still 2 Pyramid Turtle. 3 Goblin Zombie, still the best search card for the deck. You're still going to keep your big beaters, so 2 Endless Decay. Still keeping 2 Plaguespreaders, but I took out the Pain Painter. I didn't really like it as much as I wanted to. I mean, it was great to get the search off of with Goblin Zombie, but it just didn't really make Archfiend Zombie Skull as often as I wanted it to. Just kind of a slow card to make, so I took that one out. I kept the 2 Tour Guide, and I threw in a Jinzo, because Jinzo. Next, got 2 Zombie World. Very important that they're shiny. Draw them more often that way. 3 Book of Life, because that's still your monster born nowadays. Good card. 1 Book of Moon still. Still got your Dark Hole. 2 Staple MSTs. Foolish Burial. Burial from the Different Dimension, not Different Dimension Burial. Cool name though. This guy's for your Mezukis and your Plaguespreaders. You do use them often enough. And there have been quite a few traps that banish things nowadays, like your D-Prison or whatever. So if you attack with something and they banish it, just bring it back here and catch 2 Mezuki at the same time, and the next turn bring them back. So, good card. Next, kind of a Tekken card. I tried playing it at 1. One of you suggested I use it as the 40th card in my previous video. Tried it at 1, loved it when I drew it, so I made it happen. So we're going to put in 2 Creature Swap. Fantastic card. And then a couple times I run into traps that I just couldn't handle at the time. So I threw in 2 Forbidden Lance to help you survive things like Torrential or Bottomless if they try to get your Zombie Master right off the bat. But it's also pretty good for getting over things because the biggest consistent thing you can make is 24. But it's a good card to help you survive those things. And most of your monsters are just like pieces, they're not the end. So good card to have in there. Then for the trap lineup, got 1 Bottomless, 1 Torrential. I added a Compulse because that's just a really good card. And then I've still got 2 Mirror Force. So that's the main deck now, sitting down 40. And I really like the way this one plays. You got a little bit more protection in the form of Forbidden Lance. Oh, I should talk about Creature Swap while we're here, because that card is actually fantastic for this deck. So hypothetically, you go second and you draw a Creature Swap with any one of these. You normal summon a Pyramid Turtle, you Creature Swap, you take their thing, you kill your own turtle, and then because this effect resolves in your graveyard, you get to bring out your Decay because it's a zombie from your deck. You draw into a Goblin Zombie, you normal summon it in attack mode, you activate Creature Swap, you take their thing, you kill your Goblin Zombie, so in addition to giving them damage, you're also searching any zombie card you want from your deck. Fantastic. You hypothetically need to get Bone Crusher in the grave. Normal summon it, Creature Swap, kill it, it's in the grave. If you want to set up your Mezuki plays, you need to get that in the grave too, you can activate that. But probably my favorite play is really late game, or Effect Veiler happens on Endless Decay. This thing is sitting here with like 1,000 attack and maybe 200. It's just not very big. Creature Swap, just get rid of it. And then attack over it, it's just fantastic. I guess I probably should comment on that as well. The reason I don't like that card as much for Effect Veiler is that Effect Veiler permanently negates it, because his effect isn't continuous, it just happens. If you negate its effect with Effect Veiler, it stays at 0, which makes it a perfect candidate for Creature Swap, because then you can attack over it really easy. Bumping into the extra deck now, I did make a couple changes. So you're still going to run 2 copies of Doomkaiser Dragon. Don't have Pain Painter anymore, so it's impossible to make the Archfiend Zombie Skull. But its effect didn't go off as often as I wanted it to, and even so it's 25 attack, so it's not too terribly hard to get over. Really useful card, but when you think about it, you've got a Dark Hole, they've got a Dark Hole, and then there might be 2 Torrentials in the entire of the match, so his effect can't really stop too much. So good effect, but not really worth it for the extra. I just need more room. Keeping the Psyhemuth, keeping the Crimson Blader, good cards. Zenmaines, because first turn Zenmaines, never a bad idea. Leviair late game to save your Mezukis back on the field is always fantastic. And if they banish your Zombie Master, bring it back and then go in your loops again, still good. Been testing out a Gagaga Cowboy. Love that card, doing really well. It's one of the easy ways to get over the big things you couldn't have dealt with before. Next, I think this is a new addition now. I'm throwing in an Abyss Dweller. And then still fantastic card to set up your graveyard. You've got your Lavalval Chain. One of my favorite plays to do with Chain is to summon Master, pitch and then use its effect to summon Mezuki, overlay these two for Chain, detach Mezuki to Foolish Mezuki, and now you've got two of these guys in the grave. And you can do this again next turn. And if they kill this, you can banish Mezuki to get Master back on the field, haven't used your normal summon, and you can use its effect again. So just really good play off of Lavalval Chain. Great card. Then you've got your Maestroke, Photon Papilloperative, Master Key Beetle, dual Gemnite Pearl, and one Vylon Disigma. This card changes games, and I can make it really, really easily based upon how many cards just swarm onto the field. Zombies are just good like that. Love it. So that's the main deck at 41 and the 15 in the extra. And now, in a previous video, someone commented they wanted to see a side deck, so this is what I've thrown together, most of the things that I think work pretty well together. So to start off with, you're going to have your 2 DD Crow, 2 Max C, 2 Electric Virus, and then 1 Whitehorn Dragon. And then just good card to have on the side, you got your 3rd MST, 1 Soul Drain, 2 Rivalry of the Warlords. Not as certain about this one. If you get it out early enough in the game where your opponent hasn't really done much yet, then it's tough for them to get their plays going. It's not a whole lot of things capitalize on single types like what I do in the zombie deck. But if you've got Zombie World on the field, it's really cool. Everything on their field becomes a zombie, so unless they have zombies in the hand, they can't really do too much. But it doesn't hurt you too much because you've got all your zombies here, and you can still turtle into Decay. The only thing that slows you down maybe a little bit is if you want to go into your extra deck, you can pretty much only go into Doomkaiser, but still, good card to slow a bunch of things down. Then you've got 2 Royal Decree, because you need your 2nd and 3rd Jinzo, but Decree you're still good. And then Imperial Iron Wall to stop people from banishing stuff. So that's been the extra deck, the side deck, and the main deck. And that concludes the update. As always, leave a comment, tell me what you think. Anything you'd want to take out or swap, go ahead and leave in the comment, and I'll get back to you when I can. Thanks for watching.